Hey everyone, welcome back to another Build It or Bench It episode. Today we're going to take a look at Anubia. So Anubia isn't a hero that got a lot of shine in the past. She's just been a really low tier priority hero that's not really excelling anywhere. She had a one time her phase where she was pretty much nuking every single Celestial Trial boss just because of the bug, but that bug has been fixed quite some time ago, and apart from that she hasn't really seen much. The bug was that the illusion was triggering on celestial bosses, and because the celestial bosses had insane amounts of buffs, the illusion would pretty much just one-shot them, and she was one of the best celestial trial heroes because of this. But yeah, so I'm going to start with her runes. I think illusion, as I have said before, has a really niche place in PvP metas because we have around 200 buffs in PvP on your average team from what I have seen. So I think illusion can be quite good, but there's a lot of illusion removal heroes, and those heroes are quite common. On top of that, it's only 50% chance to apply it, so you can even miss the hero that you want to target and one shot. So yeah, I think illusion has a place of experimenting. I think it's a niche effect that could have some potential in the future or even now, but I do not have her runes, and therefore I cannot confirm or deny this. Apart from her runes, her skill is not really that great. She does some decent amount of damage, but it's nothing that you want to run. Her buffs are so minimal, like this is before seasons were a thing type of buffs. So yeah, this is literally nothing compared to what we can get from other heroes. On top of that, her last passive is quite useless, and her second skill is as well useless. She doesn't really offer anything. Ethereal, not being a DD hero, is quite common to be a bad hero. Like exceptional hero was Bai Suzhen, which was like a mini Elisha, but only for the early game. Apart from that, Phantom Synergy is great, but in this case, it doesn't offer anything. You could pair her with 11 synergies, but then again, it doesn't really do anything. Neither does her Shadow Arch synergy do anything, whether it's the Lost City or any other PvE mode that's non-seasonal or seasonal. So Anubia is a pretty straightforward benched hero. You shouldn't be building her. Maybe for the first 10 days she can be useful if you randomly summon her 2 copies or even 1 copy, honestly. This buff is all you need to make some usage of her in the early game. But yeah, apart from that, you will never really use this hero. Maybe, as I said, her potential is with her illusion runes, but apart from that, just a benched hero, and don't really ever focus on her. Next up on the list is Ellie, and Ellie is pretty much also a benched hero, but she's a slightly better version of Anubia, in my opinion, because she can dish out a quite nice amount of damage. Because she can scale up her damage coefficient by 200% for each control effect on the target, which is really niche, but again, it's far better damage than Anubia can dish out. Ellie slightly better than Anubia, but then again doesn't offer really anything, even in the late game nor in the early game. May be useful for the first 10 days, but apart from that, she's a benched hero. On top of that, she's one of the few heroes that has the last words effect, something like Mavis, but Mavis' effect is so much better than this. Now, this could actually be good in some Phantom teams, maybe, but if the damage number was far higher, just ignore Ellie. She's not really worth your time, not really worth building. This is not really something significant either. On top of that, her runes actually, when Ellie's defense is increased, there's a 30% chance to gain additional 30% of own defense for 3 rounds. Now, I thought this has a potential with Victoria in a team, but it really doesn't. It just simply doesn't work. Ellie cannot be used in the late game. She has no future. Her synergies are also bad. Ethereal, that's not DD, is bad. Shadow Arch is bad, and Striker is the worst synergy for the runes that exists right now. So Ellie is a bench hero and don't really think about building her other than the 12 stars for the gallery stats, and that's about it. Pretty much never focus on her. May be useful in the early game, and that's it. bench it. Next up on the list is Bai, and I think Bai is actually a quite good hero up to mid game, I would say. She offers a nice survival that no hero really offers in the early game. It's because of this skill. So when an ally deals crit damage, she will increase the entire team's HP by 50% up to 10 times, which is 500%. And that's the same amount that Helisa's runes increase to Monarchs. So her survival for the early game is quite good, I would say, and especially because crit damage is pretty common, and she's ethereal, which can pair with Elisha and Karnak, which you're thrown at in the early game with copies, pretty much. Another thing she does is that when she lands a critical hit, she restores 10% of HP to entire team, and this is not really amazing, but it's great for survival. So she's one of the better survival heroes in the early to mid game. She's a Shadow Arch, and her usage in Lost City is quite common because you don't really have a lot of stats slash heroes in the early game to cover for the Shadow Arch, and she does the job. So she's quite useful in PvP as well, in the World Arena mainly, where you have to fill 9 teams. You will very likely end up using her, and I'm not going to suggest to focus on her, but I do think it's worth it to grab one copy of her, because that's all you need. You only need this passive to make a team pretty much far more durable in the early game than it should be. And I think it's worth it to pick one copy of her, whether you do the 20 synergy summons on her, which basically guarantees a hero in the early game because it's scripted. The synergy summon pools are scripted. The first 20 will guarantee you the hero you choose. So you can use this on Bai and get her one copy and be done with her, in my opinion. She will provide you a decent survival, and she will be used for quite some time. Eventually, you will want her 7-star for Shadow Arch, and that's about it. Her runes are nothing special, honestly. She will just restore more HP to one ally, and it's not really amazing. Fortitude counter is really good, but apart from that, the effect of the rune is not worth it and not really worth chasing at all. So Bai Suzhen is a hero, I would say, build it in the early and the mid game up to 7-star slash 8-stars at best to unlock her rune synergy for more gallery power. Eventually get her to 12-star like Seeker for the gallery power, but do not focus on her. She will come naturally, as all heroes do. Not DD heroes are quite common in this game and nothing to worry about. Her speed is quite slow, but it doesn't really matter as she is here to provide the survival for the team. So that's about it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to talk about Glorians, and these 3 or 4 are next on the list. These are pretty interesting heroes, and I think the next video is going to be quite fun. To recap, we are going to bench both Anubia and Ellie in the early game, and we're going to build Bai Suzhen if you're lucky together, or if you decide to pick her from the synergy summons, which is completely fine. That's not in the guide, but I do agree that she's one of the best EVE heroes in the early game for just a 6-star. Like no other hero provides such effect. So I think she's great hero. Other 2 are pretty much just benched heroes. So see you in the next video.